to the target. Center in downtown Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's the home of the Timberwolves, where we're broadcasting from live today. This is Kevin Harlan, joined at the broadcast table by Greg Anthony and Coach Stan Van Gundy. And as always, we'll hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. The Timberwolves again playing host, continuing their homestand in this one.
Yeah, and they just looked sort of lost out there lately. You know, they're not playing with a whole lot of purpose or drive. And you just can't wait for good things to happen. You've got to make them happen.
And the defense of the Timberwolves stand as good as it gets.
Well, Kevin, they can compete with anyone when it comes to size, not just up front, but on the wings. They're long and athletic, but it all comes down to execution, and they get it done.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves getting the first points of the ball game. Here's Leonard, and 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. People like to debate, and Greg, I don't know if this is you, what's better, Kawhi's defense or his offense?
Well, Kevin, I'll say this. Even if he was a subpar defender, his offense alone would have him among the league's top players. But his defense isn't subpar. At its best, it's elite.
Boy, the regular season is coming to a close very quickly here, Stan. It's been a great year, hasn't it?
It's been incredible. Look, the talent level, the skill level in this league, night in and night out, just continues to get better. We see guys making great leaps. I just don't know where the end of this is, Kevin. It just is incredible.
And how lucky are we to get this front row seat? Oh, my goodness.
Every night, we are lucky. And he's shown a great touch at the line. They've tested the big guy, but he's come through.
And what control from Harden inside, adjusting his shot perfectly for that short-range make.
Oh, here's Edwards. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
Yeah, well, his offensive contributions are going to be very important in this game. So it's good they've already got him in a rhythm. Yeah, you expect him to make those. Good look. Just couldn't find the mark.
From 17 feet out, he's off on that one. Great D that time from Powell. Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks very much. I spoke briefly with Chris Finch. Now, he couldn't have been more complimentary about Kawhi Leonard. After some injury issues, he's now back to being the best guy on the floor most of the time. Coach said slowing him down was like trying to hold back an avalanche with a shovel. Kevin?
Okay, David, thanks.
Doing his job on the glass and doing it with force.
And Greg, it's not everybody in the league who can make those kinds of plays.
Well, he gets paid to be a factor on the glass. That's a nice dunk to finish it off.
Mr. Gobert. The shot from the low post is good.
Yeah, inside, Gobert can be a true monster, using his size and reach very effectively.
And the officials have called the illegal screen right there.
Beyond the leaning, you can see his feet weren't set on that screen. Easy call.
Look, you can get away with a lot in terms of screens today. You can't make it that easy.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
And it's done in the corner. Three-pointer. Hits the three-point bomb.
And good to get him going early. That shot should give him some confidence.
Yeah, it's always nice to see him drop in a triple early in the game. That'll set him up for success the rest of the way.
Edwards, good.
and it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
Pass to Eubanks. Knocked away. It's stolen by Edwards. Here's McDaniels. Can't connect from short range.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Hits it from three-point range. 6 points for Chris Dunn.
Well, when you give him room like that, just expect it to go in.
Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
Yeah, I'd consider calling timeout right away after that one. The defense has to be better there.
Now here's Edwards, following the miss by Chris Dunn. Inside, DiVincenzo. Doesn't go that time. Dunn with some nice D. Here's Bogdanovich, rebounded by the Timberwolves. And this is the first season matchup for them against this Clippers team.
Yeah, and they're hoping for a better showing against this club this season. Last year they came out on the losing end.
And the wide open shot from DiVincenzo. The three-pointer no good. Jones, no one around him. That falls. Nice feed that time from Bogdanovich.
Well, he can beat you in a lot of ways. Very challenging.
With the score, your
Plenty of
Timberwolves 16, the Clippers 13.
And some good action in the books as we get back to the game that's been pretty close here so far. And a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Timberwolves.
Well, I like how they're going right at the defense, creating high-quality looks with that penetration.
And guys, they've also done a great job generating offense from their defense, forcing turnovers and making the defense pay for those mistakes.
Mr. Gobert, lead pass was put in just the right spot. 6 points for Rudy Gobert.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
Dunn attacking. Can't cash in from close range. You know, Coach, what more can you ask? The reigning 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert.
Well, Kevin, since you asked, his impact in the playoffs hasn't always been the same as during the regular season. That's got to be the next step.
And standing 6'9", Jaden McDaniels, possessing tremendous length for a perimeter defender.
Yeah, Kevin, and he can really move his feet, too. Jaden McDaniels is clearly one of the best and most versatile perimeter defenders in the league.
Timberwolves leading by 6. Outside, Edwards. Pass to Randall. Gobert trying to get open. Stan, I could talk about coaching with you from morning till night, but what's the most difficult part of coaching that maybe the average fan doesn't know about?
Well, there's probably a lot of things like that, Kevin, so I'll just give you one. When you're coaching a star player who's on the decline a little bit, in his own mind, he's still that guy he was in his best years, but you have to limit his role, not get him as many shots, things like that, and there can be some tension, and it's with a guy that you have huge, huge respect for.
That's a great example. Coaching an aging star. Very different. And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Kevin, the Clippers are inaugurating their new arena this season, and they're set to host the All-Star Game next season. It will mark the 7th time that the LA area has hosted the All-Star facilities. Kevin, there will be no shortage of stars in attendance.
That's always the way it is in LA. You're so right, David. It ought to be quite a spectacle.
And defensively, they're on their heels every time the ball comes inside. That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here. And Greg, it didn't take long for Anthony Edwards to prove himself in the NBA.
There's so much to like about his game. And as outstanding as his offense is, his defense cannot be overlooked. He is a lockdown presence when he needs to be.
Now, here's McDaniels. Pass to DiVincenzo. Timberwolves passing it around. Shoots over Powell. Finds the bottom of the bucket from 13 feet out. DiVincenzo's got the lead up to 10 now for the Timberwolves. To the middle. It's Powell on the wing. Off target from three-point range.
Finding space on the perimeter, but he couldn't capitalize.
Pass to DiVincenzo. He can't get that one to fall. Simmons with the defensive effort. Clippers trail by 10. Banked in off the glass.
And that's where Simmons wants to operate as a scorer. Foul line down.
And so it's Rendell bringing it up now for the Timberwolves. So it's off to Brooklyn after this game as they have the next to look forward to. Now here's Edwards. 6 points for him. Great D that time from Leonard.
And the pressure he put on that shot forced the miscue.
Yeah, that's the kind of aggressive defense you always want to see on the interior.
Now here's Edwards. Harden missing his last shot. Tried to bank it in, but he misses. It's hauled in by Edwards.
Well, he just doesn't have it right now. It's as simple as that. And his team is struggling as a result.
Pass to DiVincenzo. And the officials call him for a 3-second violation. Clippers trail by 8. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
It's Powell on the wing. And again, no good by the Clippers. 2 for 1 opportunity here if they want it.
And no doubt, Kevin, if I'm them, I go for it.
Here's Edwards. Edwards making a statement.
Well, talk about a guy who plays above the rim. Anthony Edwards.
Pass to Leonard. Back to Harden. Launches a 3. That's good. A tough shooting night. He's 2 for 8 and looking for more. On the wing, DiVincenzo. Back to Edwards. Fires from 14. Simmons pulls it in.
Yeah, loose coverage by the defense, but he just couldn't make them pay.
And so it's Minnesota heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. A look at the field goal percentage numbers tells the story of what tough defense they're playing today. We come back right after this. And happy you could join us. We've got 2 quarters left to go in regulation. Clippers trail by 7. In the corner, Harden. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by DiVincenzo.
That's a careless pass and a wasted possession. That's just unnecessary.
Here's Leonard. Gobert with the block.
Nice play by Gobert, providing elite rim protection for over a decade.
You gotta have guts and hops to pull off a dunk like that. Randall got a lot of both.
You know, when Rudy Gobert is down low, it strikes fear into the opponent. This is a guy who has led the league in blocks and rebounds at different times. Inside the paint, he is just a nightmare to battle against.
Here is Edwards. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. Down low. Gobert in the corner. 5 to shoot. Tries from 7. Edwards can't hit. Clippers trail by 7. Edwards with the block.
Well, I love whenever Edwards is disengaged defensively. Excellent job coming up with the block.
To the paint. It's intercepted. Leonard with the ball. Now defended by Randall. Now Harden. He's got 5. He can't get it to go.
Not a great start to the second half. He's 1 for 4. Got to find ways to generate better looks here. Yeah, he hasn't had the best night from the field, but his teammates have had his back.
A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, Rudy Gobert has tied for the most defensive player of the year awards all time, but he's challenging himself to be more offensively. He said it's all about just being okay with missing from making mistakes, freeing my mind and doing the things that I work on to get out of the shell that I was being put in. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David Aldridge. We thank you for that report. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Clippers will retain possession. So the Timberwolves called their first timeout. This league, Stan, is so deep with talent. Are there any players who you think get overlooked in the conversation?
That's a great question, Kevin. I mean, there are some guys who I think get underrated because they play with other guys who are so talented and draw the attention. One guy that I have really seen lately that I think has been better than people think is Grayson Allen, the best three-point shooter or one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA and a very underrated defender.
And he's evolving, isn't he? Looks like he's working on other parts of his game, but he's always been able to shoot, which has been his calling card.
And he's a much more athletic guy than people give him credit for.
And the Clippers making a change here. To the inside. Harden. And the jam by Harden.
Oh, get up, James. Talk about a guy who scores from all 3 levels.
And he dunks it down.
I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. Here's Powell. Zubac trying to break loose. Drops in the layup for 2.
And you're going to take as many of those high percentage shots as you can get.
Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the third here. A shot by Alexander Walker, no good. Harden outside. Left side, Jones. Batum wide open. He fires. Traps in the tray. And now it's just a 4-point Minnesota lead.
How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look.
Alexander Walker on the wing. Back to Conley. The Timberwolves working the ball around them. From past the arc. The shot's good from Alexander Walker. And the Timberwolves lead by 7.
Yeah, and when you're hit, you gotta hit back.
A bit of a duel going on between them. Came down the floor looking for immediate payback.
Now, here is Harden. Another one falls for the Clippers.
And finishing through contact, nothing new for Harden. He welcomes it. And boy, can that be demoralizing to the defense. Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Here's Alexander Walker. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Outside, Batum. Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. Pass to Shannon. Outside Conley. We've got 28 seconds left to play in the third.
Well, he continues to make the effort, but the results just aren't there this quarter.
And here's Bogdanovich for three. And again, it's the Clippers from deep.
Well, that's too much space for Bogdanovich, especially from the corner.
This is his first free throw of the game.
And at 78%, he's been a consistent shooter at the line for them all season long.
And so, Alexander Walker nails both of them. Outside, Jones. To the middle. Outside, Bogdanovich. And the three off target. And we've reached the end of the third. Minnesota on top, up 4.
Your Timberwolves, 38. The Clippers, 34.
And I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the fourth quarter. Pass to Alexander Walker. Back to Conley. And stolen by Bogdanovich. Done outside. Inside. Eubanks. A great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and nasty jam.
That's a stomach punch, guys. Turn it over and give him a free run to the bucket.
Oh, you're so right. No question who has the momentum now.
A sequence like that really does sting. I'll tell you that much.
That misses. Had a chance to tie it there.
I mean, that can happen to anyone, but it's ugly every time it does.
Yeah, that's one he'd like to have back. Those are the opportunities you have to convert.
Here's Bogdanovich. Michael Conley making his last shot. Misses the three.
And you could tell he thought he had a little more space, but the defender was right there.
Yeah, he may have had space, but the defense did a nice job closing that gap quickly.
I tell you, he has some impressive moves in his repertoire. That's as good as it gets, but just one of many.
A shot by Batum, no good. Timberwolves leading by 6. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
For three, Edwards. And it's the Clippers with the rebound. To the paint. Here's Leonard. And finished off by Leonard.
And Leonard makes it look easy. Incredible at getting inside and just finishing with physicality. And just tacks a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
That's bringing it down hard. Here's Harden. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
He's almost obsessed with drawing contact, and Harden has an endless number of ways to get to the line.
Free throw good, James Harden. And both free throws good for James Harden.
We expect nothing less. He's generally been very good at the line.
Stolen by Harden. Los Angeles calls timeout.
Well, he's been off the mark, and it's impacting his team's ability to put points on the board. He needs to reset his approach.
And now we've got some time to check in from the sideline. You got for us, DA?
Kevin, during the last break, I heard Tyronn Lue talking with his team. He said in the huddle, you got to play some defense in the paint. They're getting too much in there. Battle down low. Time to fight, guys.
All right, David, thanks.
Out of bounds.
And when Gobert is playing with this kind of aggression on that end, there aren't many better at defending.
Now here's Harden. Rudy Gobert with the rebound.
Great defensive effort, just saved a basket.
Well, he's such a competitor at that end of the floor. Never takes a possession off.
And guys, all about hard work from this point on. They've worked hard to create that high-quality shot and then able to knock it down.
Here's Powell. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. And that's now 6 points now in the game for Norman Powell.
Well, when Edwards is pulling out pump fakes, it's borderline unfair.
And now we'll get a perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Timberwolves.
Well, I love how connected they've been defensively. They're right into shooters and piling up block shots.
And another thing, guys, they've dominated on fast breaks tonight, outrunning their opponent the entire game. Very difficult to just stop Kawhi inside. He's a powerful player who commits to his attacks.
He drops the first one, and that brings them within 5. Both shots good from the stripe.
And you really can't say enough about his composure in the big moments, as cool as they come.
And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. Here is Harden. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Down low. Zubac, that's good.
And we know about Harden's scoring abilities, but his team heavily relies on that vision and playmaking as well.
Now here's DiVincenzo. Here's Edwards. And again, Minnesota will turn it over.
Oh, come on. You cannot let that happen in this situation.
We've got 1:18 left in the fourth quarter. To tie it up. And Harden lays it in. Harden's got the game tied up here for the Clippers.
One of the best closers in our game. James Harden coming up big.
Here's Edwards. It's good!
Big-time basket at a big-time moment.
Yeah, don't you just love to see a player embrace that kind of pressure?
Harden outside. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. 6 to shoot. Gobert with the block. And they're able to recover. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. There's 31 seconds left in the game. We can probably expect to see him slow it down now.
Yeah, I think you want to milk your possessions.
Well, you got to love that Rudy Gobert was ready at a key moment.
Pass to Powell. That 3 off the mark. And so Edwards will bring it up for the Timberwolves. They've led by as much as 10. It's good for